Rah! 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 Anthony has a cutlass. He's got a cutlass. Oh no, don't call me stinky. Don't call me. Oh, you call me stinky. I'm not stinky. Have I hurt my throat? I should be careful sometimes, guys. Ow, fish! You're full of fish. I'm not a cat. I don't want a fish. Sorry, I just got like. Do you ever sometimes have that habit where you're like clapping, or you're doing a certain motion, and then you have to just keep doing it for ages? Yeah, that's kind of what I have got going on right now. Ha! Can't meow me. Your ears don't know. Oh, yeah, you do. Wait for the cool down. I am safe. I am safe. No. No. Oh, my tummy is not very nice to me today. No, it's not been nice for a while. Meow free. No. No, it's no meow. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. How you all doing? Welcome to the stream, Anthony and Celadrin and Erland. Hello, Bobby and Keeper. And Bobby and Keeper. That's it. That's everyone who said hello. Hello, everyone. How you all doing? Yeah, I know I said that it's going to be a sprue cutting up day, but I am actually kind of maybe making this a hand cam. Hello and good morning from my side of the world. Hello and good evening from my side of the world. My side of the world. No one else is allowed on this side. Get off my side of the world. Oh, gosh. Oh, boxes. I know I said it's a sprue day, but I've decided because I managed to throw away a load of sprues, and by throw away I mean like get them recycled, like the Warhammer shop, over the weekend, I've decided that since I got a bit more room in the box, I'm going to fill it with more sprues. So that means cutting all the spare bits of different sprues and then sorting them out into the correct bits box and little things, you know. Which is my swamp. Yeah, this is Britain. Britain is my swamp. I mean, they drained my swampland. They drained my swampland. That's the real reason I'm crying. I liked it all wet. Oh, goodness. Okay, where's the hand cam thing? Where's the hand cam? Here's a hand cam. Here's the hand cam. Cam! Yeah! Whoa. Frame rate. Frame rate. Frame rate. What? Oh gosh, it's doing its frame rate things again. Let me press this button. Let's see if it helps. I got dirt to the back of this glove. What about that side? Come on, this side. Oh no, it's just thin. It's just thin. Ah, whatever. Figure just gloves are wear because, you know, don't care about them getting damaged. No, I do a little bit. Come on, big cupcakes. You got 200. You got exactly what you put in from it. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm getting all these sprues for the spare bits. I'm basically going to cut them up, throw them into boxes, and those that need to glue together, I'm going to glue them together. So like finish making for bolters here, for heavy bolters. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with a frame rate today? I've a press this light on, does that help? No, hey people, we're doing good. No, we got no frame rate. We got no frame rate, Talan. Talan, get us more frames. Okay, I've got to see what I can do to fix this silly frame rate. This thing just like decides. Like some days it's like I'm gonna work well. Other days it's like deactivate, activate. Does this help? Did that help? Oh wait, it's a little better, but now with this like no focus. Definitely no focus. Configure video, camera control. There we go. Does this help? Apply. Why is it not? Oh gosh, it's still really bad frames today. We've had good frames a little bit. I say good frames, you know, relatively okay frames a little bit. I've done nothing different today. Maybe it's a lighting, maybe it's a timer, maybe it's too late for my light, maybe it's a morning light, my camera, sorry, not light. Maybe it's a morning camera, maybe that's the issue. Maybe turn off these lights behind me, maybe that helps. I know, frame rate's still a bit weird, I guess. Mariana didn't have frames either. Bad days to have frames today. Yeah, it's a bad day for frames. It's like our house just lost all its window frames today. I'm joking, that never happened. Cameron needs a coffee cupcake. No, don't give it a coffee cupcake. Okay, I think I might know what's happening. It's because the what you can see on the camera is actually only a fragment. So, does this help? Okay, I think that helped because it just had like a lot of very bright stuff on the screen. But you couldn't see it. It was on the camera, not on the... It was on the camera, but not on the screen that you can see because it's a bit zoomed in. There we go. There we go. We've fixed it. We've fixed it. It's fine. It's still not great frames. Bob sabotaged himself there. Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going through these kits and we're cutting them up and doing stuff such as... We've got this little thing here and I'm like, what do I do with it? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, frames are still pretty terrible. Tony the Tanuki. Yeet! Hello, Tony. Oh, did they say hello to Talan? Well, he doesn't deserve a hello. I'm joking. Hello, Talan. It's like the weirdest way to have something attached, but I know it's fine. Dies. Ah, he died. Yeah, we win. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, does this need to go into a special box? Nah. Does this? Nah. Does this? Nah. Does this? Nah. Does this? Nah. This is horse? Nah. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is go through these things. Okay, so we got a flamethrower next. Where'd my clippers go? For over here. Not my fault Mariana didn't understand the law. Look, you just poorly explained it. You realise Mariana doesn't need it explained in baby terms. She needs it explained in proper terms because she's a clever little cookie. She's a clever cookie and you underestimated her. I've already explained it in baby terms. And then she's like, oh, I can't remember baby terms. Who remembers baby terms? Yeah, that's definitely for... VTubers cannot be at fault. It's always for viewer. It's always for mods, to be honest. Never for VTuber. But how did I launch Erland into a star? You launched Erland into a star. Why? Don't launch Erland into stars. Oh, random missile on the top of that thing. It came off easily, if I'm honest. Hello, Tony. Not for Tanuki. Hello, Silence125. How you doing? How you doing? We're making a little bolter. Yeah. Have I got a little flamer? This is on our Infernus. Malcador Infernus model. Spare parts. Oh my gosh, the frame rate really is terrible. Maybe it's too bright here. Maybe that's the issue. I'm gonna turn off some lights. Oh gosh, it's too dark. I mean, for frame rate, it kind of went a bit better. Okay, the frame rate is still terrible. Turn off this light then. And maybe if I turn on the exposure. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, for a second there, the frame rate seemed to have been fixed, but, you know. Ah, frame rate. Stay still. Then frame rate! I'm actually moving my hand back and forth relatively slowly, but it looks like it's just flashing across the screen. I do it very quickly. You can't even see that I'm doing that. It's insane. It's like...
Try asking the camera nicely.
That's absolutely insane. What's that? The camera? Can you please work well? Okay, the darkness just went down massively, but I mean, somehow that worked. Okay, apparently I just need to ask nicely. I'm like, can you work, please? He's like, okay, yeah, I will. But I'm just, you can't have brightness on the screen. It has to be darker. Okay, you're right. I just have to be nice to it sometimes. You know, it just wanted to be, you know, we really do appreciate your camera. Because you're so mean. I'm not mean. Guys, am I mean? Wait, poll, am I mean? Can you turn up the brightness a little bit without lagging? Oh, you can, thank you. I'm doing a poll. Am I mean? Am I mean? No. Pick this one or else. Yeah. Want to be hurt. Yeah. Pick this one to be a silly. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Poll started. Am I mean? The answer is definitely no. What do you mean, yeah? The answer's no. No, your answer has to be no. 80% have picked yes so far. It's like 20% of you are clever. Okay, 43% of you are very intelligent and wise people so far. Hello there, Ramon. How you doing? How you doing? 53% of you are very intelligent and wise. 43, sorry, 43. I'm from America. I'm a dumb man. Oh gosh. Just because you're from America, that doesn't automatically make you dumb. It gives you a much higher probability of being... I'm joking. I'm joking. It's an autocannon. Yeah, I'm just filling my bits box. And then I'm going to put them in my sprue recycle box. And then eventually, I'm going to recycle them. It's like... I need to hire someone just to cut up for, just to recycle the sprues for me. That's what I need to do.
She couldn't stop being mean during the Am I Mean poo.
No! No, okay, now 50% of you are smart little goobers. Smart little goober cakes. 50% of you are terrible, evil, evil cakes. Evil! She's joking because she knows
Chicken
that
stock cupcakes sound delicious.
people want to change their votes. No, 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 no. Oh no, I picked change my vote to yeah. No, no, you picked no. You have to keep your vote as no. Because I'm not mean at all. Oh gosh. Chicken stock cupcake sounds delicious. Chicken stock cupcake. You're not meant to eat a cupcake, even if it's a savoury one. You silly Billy. I thought that was a power fist then. No, it's like a body of a person. Like the chest of a tank commander. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And then we got arms. That seem kind of cool. These are the solar auxiliary arms. Ba 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 ba. Ahaha. Oh no, cornbread cupcakes would be amazing. No, they would, because corn is terrible. Corn, don't eat corn. Well, actually, eat corn, but don't eat lots of corn products because, especially if you're in America, they're not very good for you. They're not very healthy. And I trust you to try and take care of yourself and be healthy. Actually, wait a minute. That's a silly thing to be trust you guys with, isn't it? Taking care of yourselves. You guys wouldn't do that. Oh, America. Whoops, only corn hub. Corn hub, what's corn hub? There we go. There we go. Okay, now all of these bits I'm going to put into a little, ow, oh, ow. Well, I need a baggie. Baggie, come over here. I got a baggie. I got a baggie. Oh no, move a sticker under baggie. Eh. I'm trying to bite it open. Oh no, now I just made it slippery. Aha, perfect. I used my clippers to remove a little sticker. There we go. And now I can put them in the baggie. In the little baggie. Get in there. Get in there. Get it, because I like to keep my bits and pieces organized. Yeah. She got a pence bag. Da 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 da. She got a pence bag. Da da da. I can't afford health insurance and go to doctor. I think I'm fine eating cornbread cupcakes. No! No eating cornbread. Don't eat one. Don't eat cupcakes if friend's not food. 2, eating all these corn things. So just make it ill and then you have to go to the doctors. And then you'll be like put into poverty for the rest of your life. Which won't be very long because you're eating corn snacks. Well, I guess if it's not high fructose corn syrup or corn flour and everything else. Do you know in Britain, sometimes we call wheat fields cornfields? Even though it's wheat.
Cornbread cupcakes aren't friends, they're food.
No, they are friends. Everything that's a cupcake is friends, not food. Not even enemies, just straight up friends. Because cupcakes are perfect and can never do any wrong. Just like me, I can't do wrong. Could only do good. Like build these barrels super well. Have they got a big hole? That does not look good for your barrels. They got a big hole in the back. It looks good from this side. Like, oh, look at that. Oh, a big hole in the back. So everything's got to spill out. Everything's got to spill out. It broke. Oh. And then we glue. We're just the glue. Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm getting all the spare bits of a sprue, as I said. Ooh, that's a cool thing. There's a little gas canister. A fuel canister. Oh, I can put that in my vehicles box. Bits and bobs piece of things. Another thing over here. These are types of things that if you ever make a vehicle out of like plasticard, these are the kind of bits that you want to keep spare around so that you can stick them onto the side and make it feel like it's something a bit more than just plain plasticard. Yeah. So if I make a cupcake like a Rice Krispie cake, is it food then? Also, now I just want to make Rice Krispie cakes. Okay, so Rice Krispie cake is only considered a cake when it's... Do you know we only get those little cupcake wrappers? And then you fill it with the Rice Krispie stuff and do like chocolate or your other binding agent. And then you put some frosting on top or you put something else on top. Yeah, like some chocolate or whatever. That is when it becomes a cupcake. Any other time, it's not considered a cake. But if it's in the cupcake wrapper, being made in a cupcake shape, and it looks like a cupcake, that's when it becomes a cupcake. I'm sorry to tell you. And you can't eat it. But if you just make it bar-shaped, do the exact same thing, but just make it the shape of a bar, it's not a cupcake, so it's fine. You can eat it. Or put it in the shape of a square, like a flapjack or something. That's fine again. It's not a cupcake. Rice Krispies are nice. What if I smooch it to do a bar? Then it's not a cupcake. Unless you made it first as a cupcake and then you smooshed it into a bar shape. In which case, it was a cupcake and you just killed it and now you have to go to prison. Okay? Okay? Gotta go to prison. Let's find some vehicle bits. Oh my gosh, my bits box keeps wanting to slide off my legs. I've been losing too much weight. Everything keeps rolling away now. Oh gosh. Oh wait, that's a bit of a guardsman chest. I can put that in the guardsman box later. No guardsman packets over to the side. Ah, so she's superficial. If you're not cupcake shape. No, no, no. This is specifically for certain things that aren't made out of cake. Things that are cake. So for instance, any sort of actual cake. Like if you got a big chocolate cake. And never mind what shape it's in. That's a cake. That's then not food. It might be big, dumb and slow. But it's still a cake. That's a custom for a cupcake. And as a result, it's then not food. Any sort of other cake is fine, yeah. But the thing is, specifically when it's things like Rice Krispies and stuff like that, where it's not actually cake material it's made from, it only becomes a cupcake and gains the super soul that cupcakes have if it's in a if it originally starts in a cupcake shape. Yeah. And then if you change its shape, you're basically killing it, so yeah. It's a bit like, you know, making a homunculi from clay and then giving it a human soul, but then if it changes shape too much, it loses a human soul. Yeah. That's what it's like. You have to make it in the shape of a human and it has to retain the human shape or it will die. It's a similar, it's like a cupcake homunculi in that way. Yeah. Yeah. What if I take an Oreo cookie and then I make them into cupcake shape and then put cream cheese frosting on top of it and sprinkle some more crushed Oreo on top? Okay, so first things first, the Oreo that you put into the cupcake shape, is that Oreo then got a cake ingredient or binding agent to keep it all together? Or if you unwrap it, would it all just fall apart? If it's the latter where it just falls apart, that's not a cupcake. Even if it's cupcake shape, it doesn't count. If on the other hand, you use cake, chocolate or something to bind it all together so that if you opened up the wrapper, it would stay intact and retain its shape, then it becomes a cupcake. And as a result, gains all the privileges and rights that a cupcake has. We need a lore page in the Discord. You don't need a lore page. These are very simple things. Very simple. No one would read it. The cupcake lore is too dense. No. The cupcake lore is very simple. It's only about 300 pages. I mean, if your text is like this tiny and you've got a big magnifying glass and the pages are like the size of my bedroom. But still, it's only 300 pages. Only about 30 billion words. Probably use butter to help keep the shape together. I'm not sure the shape would be kept there because the butter would fall to pieces. But if it is able to retain its own shape under its own will, then it's a cupcake. And doing anything to it violates cupcake law. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to find a packet. How's the thing going? It currently says no, but it's still 50-50. You need it to stop being 50-50. You need it to say, no, I am not mean. Okay, is this the vehicle parts? No, that's just generic parts. So I'd gain probably like £60 reading Cupcake Law section. How would you gain money? How would you gain money? How would you gain £60 by reading? Do you get paid to read? Oh my goodness, you get paid to read. I wish I got paid to read. Actually, that'd be a terrible job. I don't want to read. Reading sucks. It's a nerd. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, here we go, vehicle parts. Gosh, I threw that into a bag. Yeah. Okay, then here we've got a flamethrower. Ow, that caught in my hair. Record audiobooks. Oh goodness. I couldn't record an audiobook because that would require me to read the audio. Probably use, but probably American pounds, not English pounds. So American pounds are, well, that's for dollar, which isn't worth as much as an English British pound, but still. She doesn't understand our corn-based culture. No, how would you gain weight reading Cupcake Law? Or do you mean that you just be sat there for so long you'll gain weight because you're not exercising enough? Talancorn. That, and I'll probably make a bunch of cupcakes in the process. Well, why will making cupcakes make you gain weight? I mean, unless you're carrying all the cupcakes on your head or something. Do you have a big hat that you carry your cupcakes on? That you carry all your cupcake friends on? Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a box. It's 2 boxes. 2 boxes doing boxy things. Box, box, box. 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 No, cupcakes would be spared. No cupcakes would be spared. No, why would you eat them? No. Bad. Bad, Ellen. Bad. I'll have to stab you. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Don't get a British cupcake upset. You know. You know. Stop, 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 stop. Because I'm a follower of chaos. Look. Look. Do you think that cupcakes can't be chaos as well? Oh, being stabbed. Yeah, being stabbed. Call the police. Call an ambulance, but not for me. I have no idea what half of these pieces are meant to do, but you know, so I'm just going to throw them into the generic bits box corner. Ooh, but there's little eagles here. I think they're chaos eagles, so I'll just throw them into the box. Uncaring. Unsnaring. Guess I'll put this into the vehicle box. That's how chaos wins. Chaotic cupcakes would want to be eaten so they can infect whoever eats them into eating more cupcakes. No, chaos cupcakes would just be spreading. Look, look. You join chaos and then you'd find out that you're put under the charge of a chaos cupcake who's like a chaos lord. Or maybe even a greater demon of chaos cupcake. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, cupcakes rule the roost, don't they, in Chaos Land? And it's like, yes, they do. That's the one thing they never tell you on the side of Chaos. Cupcakes rule supreme. But like, join the dark side, we have cupcakes. And then it's like, yeah, this cupcake's now your boss. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to eat them. And it's like, won't work, they'll eat you. In the warp, cupcakes eat you.
Do not listen to the chaos cupcakes. They are waffles in disguise.
No, they're not. The waffles in disguise. Waffles evil. They're on the side of the pancakes. Oh, stupid. They're like the gene stealers of the cupcake world. Imposters. Saboteurs, imposters. Just trying to make a mess of things. Trying to destroy all that is good to cupcakes. This is all part of Cinch's master plan. He's making cupcakes so he can absorb them into himself so he can make the cake mind. Yes, yes, flood, key mind reference. No, no, not allowed. Also, cupcakes don't have a hive mind consciousness, you know. We're all independent thinkers. We're all independent thinkers. Roger, 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 Roger. Roger, Roger. If you don't get that joke, it's from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, in which case one of the droids goes, "Oh, that must have been one of the old droids that was connected up to the main computer. Unlike them, we're all independent thinkers, and that it's just they're all going around going Roger, Roger to one another." Who is Roger and what's he and why is he going to get Rogered? Because Roger is your mum. I'm joking. Oh, hello, Mongoose, by the way. Hello. We feared attacks on French toast too, but it surrendered. Yeah. No, pancakes are the worst because they pretend to be cupcakes, but they're not cakes at all. And even though they got the name cake. Okay, I'm going to go and move. Give me a moment. Like those people who came to be the counterculture all by the same kind of clothing. Hipsters! Rah! Rah! I got a bit of sprue between my toes. It hurt. My tootsies hurt. Okay, multi-melter, 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 multi. These are useful because I can put them on other vehicles. Oh, heavy bolter. Heavy flamer. Urinal cakes are the worst. Okay, those ones aren't cakes at all. They are definitely not cakes. Whoever tries to claim they are, there's a special place for you. Which we can't mention anywhere because it's so terrible. What's your opinion on fairy? Fairy cakes are just cupcakes. They're just less decorated. Okay, 12. That one was 12, so... Gotta look for its accompanying part. I guess it's definitely missing a part here. Let's figure out what that accompanying part is. Right, 11 or 13. or 13. I'm holding upside down, that's not helping. I'm now eating fish, that's also not helping. But it's tasty, so I'm going to continue. Found it! Is bread a cake? No, bread is not a cake. It's not even trying to be a cake. I like butterfly cakes as a simple trick, but it's cute. Yeah, very cute. Muffins are also cupcakes. That's an important distinction that should not be forgotten. There we go, melter. It's melting, soupy, melting. You know what, actually, I'm not going to cut these up because it's got a lot of pieces
an instrument?
together. Yeah, mayonnaise is an instrument. Who would ever say it isn't? Do you get a tub of mayonnaise and then you just like go beatbox on it? And you could do this. And you can like change how much mayo is to change a sound on it. And then you can open it up or like partly open it. You can make all sorts of noises with a mayonnaise tub. As a result, is it an instrument? Yes. Especially like a proper glass jar of mayonnaise. It's like it's like pop 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 pop. So you could do so much of mayonnaise. Oh, what are we voting on? Am I mean? The answer is no. No. If you see how Foley work is done, it definitely counts. Yeah. So cornbread muffins is a cupcake. Except cornbread. Cornbread is like poison. It's like Nurgle infected cupcakes. Kind of, maybe they'll be cupcake shaped, but we keep them far away from the other cupcakes to avoid infection. Because Talan keeps calling me mean. He's like, as soon as I do anything, he's like, oh my gosh, Conjuror is so mean. And I'm like, I'm not mean, you stinky face. I'm gonna punch you if you call me mean again. But he's like, that's so mean to say if I have to punch him. And he's like, stop being mean. And I'm like, no, I'm not mean. And I punch, 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 kick, 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 kick. Don't know how anyone could call me mean. Set the Inquisition on anyone who calls me mean. Oh, goodness. Shoulder pads. You aren't letting us drink the glue or paint. No, you're not allowed to. That's a very bad thing to do. You've never tried cornbread. Oh.
Beatings will continue until reputation improves.
True, yes. Beatings continue until my reputation improves. Okay, I think we got the box from yesterday, so I can throw away the box. Okay, we'll also throw away the instructions, but we'll keep the transfers. Oh gosh, sorry, for flashbanging. The flashbanging. It's because my camera was, being laggy, and I had to turn on the thing that I normally turn off. Oh gosh, sorry. I need to get closer. I can't. It's actually very hard to get into this corner nowadays because this chair's a lot bigger than my old chair and the arms don't go. Oh wait, they do lower a little bit. Oh, they can go a bit further in. Oh, there we go. And then if I move my microphone like this, and then I'll put the bits box somewhere like here. Let me move all these parts up. By parts I mean 2 minutes. Oh, they can connect to a wire. There we go. I can move it there. My mouse still works. Move it 2 minutes over here for a little bit. Yeah. Sorry. Maybe I can change that this. It keeps changing the exposure way too often. Apply. Okay, hopefully that... Okay, that didn't break anything. Good. Good. Oh. Now I'm actually in a much comfier place. And I can lean back a little bit while doing this. Without having to be shrimped over. Okay, Terminator heads, I don't really care for keeping them separate. What do you do if Talansally said hard? What? Punch him harder because he's such a silly person. Break his spine. You should end the poll right. Darn it, no, it says yeah right now. We need someone. We need 2 people at least to come in and say, I am not mean. And I don't mean they have to say the words I'm not mean. I mean they have to call me, Cupcake Conjuror, the greatest person who's ever lived. Very, 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 very nice. You know? Very nice. So sometimes it's hard for me to say certain words like nice or good job. Good job. You're a good... No, see, it's hard to, it's hard to say anything.
Make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger.
Yeah! Do it harder, make it better, do it faster, make us stronger. Do da da, do da da, do da da, do da da. Do it harder, make it better, make it faster, do it stronger. I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh! The Bridge series made a parody video, a parody song of that, and it was great, except then we never heard from it again because it got DMCA'd so much. It was like, oh, all they did was make a cover song. We're allowed cover songs. But the people behind it was big stinkies, but big stinky losers. Although then the real thing I think about why it's cancelled is that effectively because it was Shady Fox who helped make the cover and stuff, and then they had a big falling out. Apparently it was Shady Fox's fault. Big old meanie. Big old meanie. Parody is literally fair use. Yeah! And cover songs are also kind of fair use. That's one of the things that makes me slightly worried about trying to put cover songs out there. It's like just getting auto copyrighted or whatever. I'm like, how do I avoid this? Okay, we'll have a little arm. I will put it to one side, and when it dries, we'll just throw it into here. Okay, we got all these shoulder pads. I'll put them in one of the special shoulder pad things. Oops, get out of the way. There we go. Now, not that one. Not this one. I got loads of these things, I'm sorry. Oh, ugh. Okay, yeah, we'll put these shoulder pads in here. My nose is a mile away, it won't stop running. Oh no!
It's binding in the dark, its teeth are razor sharp, there's no escape for me, it wants my soul, it wants my heart,
Oh, I don't know that song. Hello, oh yeah, I forgot to say hello, Honey Rose. So Honey Rose, hello. And Lucy, hello to you too. I forgot to say hello again. Sometimes I see you guys, I'm like, oh, I need to say hello to you. And then it's like 12 hours later, still not said hello. Well, there we go. Now, what part should this go into? I'm looking for a pack of parts that this is fitting for. Oh, here we go. This pack. Going in lurking mode. I'll be back soon. Bye bye, Ireland. That was my monster by Skillet. Oh, but it's hiding in the dark, not binding. Silly autocorrect. Oh. Oh. The stronger song and power one really annoy me. They were used everywhere, and that awful Power Ranger movies had it in the trailer. Do it better, make it faster, do it. I mean, it's a nice song, though. I'll give them that much. A stronger song. What's this? Burning in the dark, its teeth. Okay, so it's hiding in the dark. Its teeth are razor sharp. There's no escape from me. It wants my soul. It wants my heart. Oh, one of my favorite songs is it's called Alive with the Glory of Love, and it's Say Anything. And it's like it's set in WW2. Apparently it's about like the grandparents of the singer, and it's about how they found one another in all the horrible things. I had a Krispy Kreme. A Krispy Kreme! What's a Krispy Kreme? What's a Krispy Kreme? It better not be cake! The whole movie turned out to be a long ad for Krispy Kreme anyways. Donuts. Donuts! Okay, donuts aren't cake. Donuts are evil. They're also part of the cake imposter gang, but it's a different cake imposter gang. They're more like, you know, the League of Photon. The donuts are like the League of Photon. That's a good description for them. The cupcakes are like the Imperium of Man. The pancakes and waffles are like the Gene Stealer cults and the Tyranids. The chaos is just more cupcakes, just for joined chaos. So it's like donuts. I mean, they're not great, but they're not the most evil thing. We'll trade with them, well, you know, so on. In fact, donut product placement was so outrageous as for IHOP placement in Man of Steel. I do not remember that. Amidst a shape is tacking from the silence of the sea and about to drink into a storm. Oh, that sounds Lovecraftian. IHOP is International House of Pancakes. Oh, destroy them! Destroy them! Pancakes! That's a Gene Stealer cult. You have to stop the infection before it spreads too far. And before it causes waffles. Next, if you got an IHOP, maybe that would mean you get a Waffle House next. And then you get things like gingerbread houses. I was like, what? Crazy stuff. Oh, we finished that box of bits. Now on to the Desolation Squad. I like these guys. I know some people hate the Desolation Squad Marines, but I absolutely look at them. They just all got. I actually like rocket launchers in Warhammer. They used to be my go-to for like every single Imperial Guard unit I had. Usually had a rocket launcher. The reason being is because while they're not as good at anti-infantry as heavy bolters, they're relatively good heavy anti-infantry. While they're not as good at anti-tank as the last cannon, they're relatively good at anti-tank. At least that used to be the case. Now I don't think they've got enough punch to them to be able to really hurt most monsters and vehicles reliably, which before they could at least glancing hit relatively reliably most vehicles. And having a blast template for them really made it useful for getting rid of Tau, Orcs, pretty much anything except Space Marines. Then you just hit them with your main cannon shot and just got rid of them with like an anti-tank round. And with it being strength 8, it could insta-kill most Marines if they failed for saves. If they got a save, that was. Is a cake a cake or just a trick like pancake? Okay, so cookie cakes, there's two types of cookie cakes. One, there's a cookie cake that's literally just a giant cookie. That's not a cake, that's just a giant cookie. It's not a trick either. It's other people who named the cookie wrong. It's just a giant cookie and all it wants to be is a giant cookie. But people keep calling it a cookie cake. The other type is a cake that's either covered in cookie batter or it is a cake that's in the shape of a cookie and usually has like bits of cookies on top. In which case that is a cake. Okay, throw the box to one side with the instruction manual. Yeah, I like rocket launchers in 40k. I don't get why other people don't. They're cool. At least to me, anyway. Oh, look at all these pistols. There's a chest plate there. There's a bunch of targety stuff. Purity seal. Yes. I love eating waffles and donuts and pancakes and even cookies and No, don't even muffins. Out of all of those that you just said, so Honey Rose, muffins are cakes. But cakes are friends, not food. The rest of it, yeah, those are edible. Waffles, definitely eat them. Get rid of them. Donuts, we don't care if you eat them. We might not be evil like the others, but they're still heretical. Pancakes, evil, they're like gene stealers. Get rid of them. And cookies, they're just food, but they're just cookies. You know? Oh, don't worry, they did Man of Steel had Superman causing more damage than Godzilla in this movie. I've seen Man of Steel. I don't think it was a bad film. I know people complain about a lot of the stuff and I'm like, you know what? That's actually relatively fitting to the continuity of this film. It's like, not every single Superman's good. It's like, have we seen Justice League? Superman makes a mess at times. I've also seen Justice League where they introduce his sister for the first time and she's trying to do superpower stuff and she keeps breaking everything and like smashing up the cities and stuff and threatening people's lives by accident because she doesn't yet have a good grasp of Earth and her powers while on Earth. And I think that's what that Superman was meant to be about. It was meant to be he's inexperienced, he's not used to this. And that's why he caused so much damage. So that's not... I mean, I did have some other issues with it, but that's more writing issues than anything else. There's been so many varieties of Superman. Evil Superman. You've had Supermen that seem good, then they turn evil. And then you have Supermen that are really weak. Supermen that are super strong. Supermen that are bald. It's like... I mean, if you're going to make a Superman film at this point, I mean, just go whatever you want to. Although I guess it is true that most people who watch Superman, they will have the sort of ideal Superman in their head from the previous Superman films and from the Justice League TV series. So it's not necessarily someone that's overpowered, because these ones always are a bit weaker than the comic counterparts. But they are generally much better at being good people and protecting the citizens. That's like the main thing they focus on. Which comic Superman and some versions of Superman aren't always good at that. To invincible people throwing each other throwing buildings knowing it won't work. Yeet. I mean, in theory, if I threw you into a pile of pillows with enough force, you'd think that your pile of pillows wouldn't hurt you, but if I just threw you into it with enough force, the pile of pillows would kill you and a feather would go straight through your heart. That's actually one of the dangers of space travel, is the fact that there's just so much clutter in space at the moment that something that you might think is not all that dangerous is actually incredibly dangerous, because it's like it's orbiting the Earth and moving at ridiculous speeds that even though it's a relatively soft and light thing and very small, it could go straight through like 2 inches of steel because it would just be traveling that quickly. Like, it will get destroyed while it's going through too, but your steel will also get destroyed. And he couldn't hold his breath in space. Yeah. I mean, sometimes Superman can survive in space, sometimes he can't. Sometimes he forgets to hold his breath, sometimes he can't. I don't know. I get those are the types of things that in these films are usually nitpicked too much. But again, it's those types of things where it's... If you're not enjoying the film, then you're more likely to nitpick it, and I think that is a problem with the film. The fact that enough people didn't enjoy it enough that they ended up wanting to nitpick it. Or, do you know, maybe not nitpick it, but, you know, finding the flaws and issue in it. I think that's a testament to a film being not the best written. And I definitely think the final product wasn't the greatest. Because, again, I think with a lot of those films on DC and Warner Bros. At the time, you had a lot of conflicting personalities that were like, I want this in the final product, I want this in the final product, and then none of them ended up getting what they wanted. And the public ended up with a film that was half-baked out of different ideas. But I also think it's partly the fact that Snyder was trying to go for a version of Superman that I do think is perfectly fine for Superman, but I think the vast majority of the public are just not going to be happy with. I think that in itself is an issue. That being said, I actually still enjoyed the film. But that being said, I also went in with a very... I keep saying that's what's being said. Sorry. I went in with relatively low expectations because I already heard loads of bad stuff about it. But I was like, you know what? This is nowhere near as bad as I feared it would be. Was it great? Not really. Was it passable as a film? Certainly. The trailer of a new Superman film coming out gives me the feeling of Chris Reeve movies. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of them as a kid. I watched a little bit, but it definitely wasn't my cup of tea when I was a kid. I liked the Batman films. And like the Batman Mr. Freeze film. Oh my gosh, I still cry today at it, and I definitely cried as a kid. Oh, that's actually what got me into DC. I remember just as a kid, just one day watching, do you know, this Batman Mr. Freeze film. I can't remember, I think it might be my brother who got it like on a video or something. And because he's like way older than me. And I just absolutely was broken down in tears watching it, and that got me into DC. Oh gosh. Oh, wait a minute. But I'm not mean. I'm not mean. Also, hello, Night Parade. Did I say hello? Time for lunch. Bye-bye, Saladin. Justice League Animated made him surprisingly weak. He flinched on machine gun fire. Yeah, I think they did that on purpose just so that they couldn't stop. They did the same with Martian Manhunter. Effectively, every single character that was overpowered, they weakened so that everything would be more of a... So that all of the heroes would be on parity with one another, effectively. And so that none of them could handle anything by themselves too easily. Meaning that that's why they... Ultimately, that's why they made him weak. It's just about the parity side of things. And he couldn't hold his breath in space. Yeah. I am looking so forward to the new Superman film, though. I absolutely love Nathan Fillion as... Oh, what's his name? Is it Guy Gardner? Oh, gosh, Guy Gardner's such a jerk, and I just want him to be such a doofus jerk. Oh, I really hope it's as silly, but as... I really hope it's as camp and Silver Age inspired as it looks like it will be. For comics where it is shown to slow to save some people, but never Lois. I guess if he doesn't smooch, then he can't get the lead out. The lead out, so... I didn't like how cavalier human life he made, Batfleck. I kind of understand that one because I think I've said before on the channel, he was very clearly inspired by the probably the most divisive DC Batman comic that there's been. Or it was one-off, and that was basically a Batman v Superman comic. And this was Batman after he's retired. Well, not necessarily after he's retired. No, it was after he retired. But it's meant to be very late Batman after every single bad thing's happened to him. It's extremely grim-dark. Like, even the comics that it's kind of inspired by itself, it takes a more grim-dark approach to them. And it then has this extremely... It's basically incredibly grim-dark Batman v Superman that's very silly. All of the complaints that people have about the films are complaints that people have about the comic. And to be honest, I think the comic is kind of meh. The animated film they made about based on the comic, I think it's actually pretty decent. And it has its issues though. I think it's a decent enough watch. Very homoerotic though, especially the Joker aspects of that series of films. And then what's it called? The Batman v Superman film, I actually did quite enjoy, if I'm going to be honest with you. First time I watched it, I really enjoyed it. Second time, not so much, but honestly, I don't know what to say. I just really love DC. I'm just going to go. I end up gobbling up most of what they throw out. I'm one of those people. Well, here's a funny thing. Did you know Superman, Omni-Man, and Homelander are called? No, they're not. Homelander is extremely weak. Omni-Man is more powerful, and he's more on parity with the comic book sort of, not comic book, cartoon versions of Superman we've seen. And then you've got, although he's generally he's like a more relentless version and more forgiving version of many of the animated versions of Superman we've seen. And then comic book Superman is just ridiculous. He's overpowered. Depending what version you've got. Oh yeah, you asked the other question earlier. Here's a question. Did you know that Tyranids won again? Yeah, they did. It's like the Octavius sector, and they eventually won. They were losing for a large part of it. The Dark Knight Returns. Oh, the Dark Knight films are great. That being said, I did watch them. I keep saying that's being said. I'm sorry. I did watch them again, and they didn't live up to my memory of them when I was younger. But they're still good films. I think the Joker film is, the best one. The Bane film is the worst one. And the Bane film, I don't really like. It has a lot of flaws. I say I don't really like. I do enjoy it. It just has a lot of flaws. And it's just not on the same tier that the first two films were on. Which film nearly destroyed superhero movies forever? Oh, Batman v Superman. I don't think so. I think Black Adam had a bigger impact on destroying the films ever. Black Adam definitely destroyed the DC extended universe. Like, Batman v Superman and Justice League weren't the greatest things, but there was still a chance of salvaging it. Except then you had the entire Flash issue. And the actor behind the Flash. I've still not watched the Flash film. Partly because the adverts for it were just so... They were terrible. The adverts for it were... They made it sound like it was a terrible film by the fact that all the adverts were just people saying how amazing it is. And that just made me think, this film is absolutely going to bomb and they're trying everything to make it artificial hype. And that's all I got from the films. I don't think so. I think Homelander. I'm a bit behind in chat. I don't think so. I think standard Superman could tear Omni and Homelander in half. Homelander, pretty much almost any form of Superman could rip in half. Yeah. It's the biggest problem with him, that he can do almost anything in the first comics. He could be stunned by a shotgun. Odd to put retirement Batman at the start of a league. Yeah, that is odd. Because I think in Batfleck, he's not actually retirement Batman. He's just very late Batman. He's not retired yet. Like, he clearly isn't retired. He's still very active. It's just...
Let's make a movie about the fastest man alive and make it mostly slow motion shots.
Yeah, the issue with trying to make speedster films, and this has always been an issue with speedster films, it's just, what do you do with a speedster? It's a bit like Quicksilver, where in the X-Men films of Quicksilver, they had some really, really cool slow-mo scenes that really showed how cool his speed was. But then they had struggled writing him because they just made him just too overpowered with the obvious slow-mo things. The Eternals were very, very good with their speedsters. I think, like, the Eternals was a very poorly written film, but I think the way that they handled their characters and their superpowers, especially the speedster, was one of the best ways that we've actually seen on film. Of the speedster being powerful but not super overpowered. The issue is the Flash is just so overpowered that trying to make any film based on him that isn't just the Flashpoint series is going to be very difficult. Because you can't do what you can with a lot of comics with him. I mean, you can do what you did with the TV series, but the TV series Flash was very weak and his speed was extremely inconsistent. And the TV series version of the Flash had a lot of issues. I didn't like the Flash TV series, to be honest. I didn't like most of the DC TV series, mind you, like Arrow and Smallville. I don't know, there's just something off about them for me. But yeah, it's very hard to write speedsters. So I don't really fault people for trying to go with all the slow-mo. Oh, gosh. But that be, I've not watched the film. I've not watched the film, so... I assume it's bad. I've seen some of the clips for it, and the CGI things for it are just crazy. As in, like, crazy that this is what a blockbuster film decided was good for what was meant to save their film series. Mother! Da 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 da. Probably Nolan films is that they concentrate too much on the fighting and gadgets and not enough on the detective side of Batman. Yeah. I do want... This is actually one of the cool things about the new Batman films, isn't it? What's his name? I can't remember what he's called. He played Cedric Diggory and Edward from Twilight. He's probably the best Batman film, I'd say, if you want the detective side of Batman. It's still not the best detective film, mind you. I think they could definitely do better detective, but they got all the aspects of Batman really, really down. They made it feel a bit comic. They really felt like a... Oh, what's the word? It really felt like a callback to his really old detective comic stuff and some of his old comics. You know, before they added all the superhero stuff to it, before he fell into a lot of superhero tropes, it just felt... It was just such a good film. Don't, it's terrible. Batman and Robin. Okay, the Batman and Robin is not a good Batman film. I'd rather watch Batman v Superman than Batman and Robin. Remember how the Monster Hunter movie was as they made the monsters into intelligent and evil monsters that are weak to sunlight? What? They made a Monster Hunter movie. I have no idea about that movie. They didn't make him really slow. We have to watch Flash move like he's underwater. Yeah, well, the Flash movie was trying to be Flashpoint, but it was so badly done. Yeah, the Flashpoint animated films, I think, they're not perfect, but I think if you want to watch Flashpoint, just watch the animated films with the Flash. And that series of films. They're definitely far from perfect with all their own issues, but it's very fun to watch, and it's going to be a hard thing to match. Yeah, it'd be a very hard thing for a live one to match. I think what they're best doing is just too many things. DC keeps trying to be Marvel at the moment of a Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that's where they keep failing, because most people don't want a cinematic universe anymore. There's been too many of them. There's been too many series that have just been long running and stuff, and some people just want to be able to watch a film and then watch the next one or whatever and not feel like they have to watch an entire series of different things happen. Animated Flashpoint Aquaman is not real and can't hurt you. Yeah, there's a lot in those things that have some serious issues to them, but you know, it is still, I would say it's still a good watch. Personally, anyway, I mean, it's not hard to be a good watch, I suppose. Speak for yourself. I watch a D&D cinematic universe. And it's coming. It's coming. I thought they gave up on the D&D stuff. Well, I guess Hasbro's trying to get as much money out of it as they can. Oh, goodness. Are you afraid of camp? I want DC D-listers. Yeah, I want the Silver Age DC back. I think that's possibly one of the... I think one of the reasons we're afraid of it is because The Brave and the Bold didn't do well. But Batman the Brave and the Bold is absolutely amazing. Oh, I want them to bring the Music Maestro. The Music Meister into, what's it called? Into the mainstream films. In fact, it's actually a YouTube clip that for the Music Meister that made me go, oh my gosh, what is this? Batman the Brave and the Bold, how have I not heard of this? And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, it got cancelled years ago. I think they're keeping Robert Pattinson Batman out of the new universe. Yeah, they're making a Batman-verse, I believe. And I think, isn't the new Penguin for, TV series? I've not watched it because it's on Peacock or something like that. Aren't they making that TV series? Isn't that part of a Batverse, the new Batman line? I heard rumours a while back that the Joker films and the Batman films are meant to be same universe. But they seem to have decided to can that, which I think is probably a good idea. Because, honestly, that kind of sucks as an idea. The Condiment King. The Condiment King. The one true king. They added Polka Dot Man to the... Oh, if you want some of that camp stuff, the Exercise Squad. You know, that squad. They,
I relish the fact that you mustered the strength to catch up to me, Batman.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, they have Polka Dot Guy and Calendar Man and stuff in their films. In the second film. The second film's actually pretty decent. If you like the Daredevil, not the Daredevil, the... Oh, what's it called? Deadpool films. You'll probably like the second Squad film. I'm personally not a big fan of the Deadpool films, and that does, as a result, actually mean I'm not the biggest fan of the second film. It's not bad. It's definitely better than the first. But I think it just goes over the top into certain parts of its humour that I just don't really appreciate. But I appreciate that's for other people. It's not my cup of tea, that style of humour. Birds of Prey and stuff also had more of that sort of thing. The Harlequin series of films, all the ones that have the same Harlequin in, they have a bit more of a campiness to it. I enjoy it. I enjoy them, but again, they've still got that weird style of humour that I'm not the biggest fan of. That dark humour. Or gross humour. That being said, I did like the Harlequin and the Birds of Prey, whatever it was called. I enjoyed that film. I was surprised when I ended up reading the review afterwards and finding that it was generally panned. I was like, oh, that was a pretty decent film. It was silly, it was kooky. It had some of my favourite characters from the animated series in it. Like the Huntress. Huntress is great. I want them to make, do you have a question? I want a Question film. The Question is one of my favourite, like, the comic book characters. I love yeah, I need to try sitting down and watching Young Justice. Super serious Robin comes home fuming that was no intel on the Condiment King. Young Justice also had the Justice League discussing potential recruits. Superman was recommending Icon. Batman favoured the Atom. Both Hal Jordan and Green Lanterns for vetoed Guy Gardner. Yep, vetoed Guy Gardner is honestly a highlight to Batman for Brave and the Bold. He absolutely sucks. But he sucks so bad he's great, you know what I mean? Like, he's in Batman for Brave and the Bold, and I absolutely adore him for it. It's like, yes. The worst Green Lantern in history. Oh wait, did I? Yep, there you go. Little Purity Seals. It could be a real help too. No, I have actually seen that clip. I have seen that clip. I never knew it was from Young Justice. I thought it was from one of the animated films, because I know they made a bunch of more animated films, and that focused around Damian, and then it focused around the Justice League. Because I've seen clips of them, but I never liked the films where they started introducing Damian. It doesn't help that I do not like Damian as a character. Damian absolutely sucks. Oh my goodness. I could probably use these as missile launchers and guardsmen. Guardsmen that have backpacks with missiles and for like... Bit awkward that in Earth years, Miss Martian is 48. Yeah, that's crazy. Same model sheets on those movies of the main leaguers, I think. Oh... Original Rorschach from The Watchmen was supposed to be the Question, but Alan Moore couldn't get permission to use a character. I can see that. I can see that. But at the same time, I'm glad they didn't use a Question. Because, honestly, that would kind of suck. The Question is a very different character to Rorschach. Okay, I'm trying to find a bit to put into here, but I just realised should be on another piece. It's a very small piece of head. It's have a back, I think. In the Invincible comic, Damien Darkpool, Demon Detective, is a clear Rorschach parody. There's so many parodies in the Invincible things. I really love the question. I want the question from... I know the question has like various, like most comic book characters, there's various forms of him. But I want the question from the Justice League TV series. Just take him straight up, give him his own film. Just this crazy dude who's not all that crazy. He sounds like a conspiracy theorist, but he's not a conspiracy theorist. There we go, little minigun. And then I can just put these things into here. I don't know what else I'll do with them. Random minigun thing. Meh. Actually, wait a minute. Where's that arm just gone that I put into here? Oh no, I already lost it. Does this just attach to here? No. Oh, wait a minute. No, this attaches into here. And that attaches onto the belt. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. What are you wearing? Blue overcoat, fedora, orange socks. Train, I see it. Train, I know. I always remember the scene where Bats has a question working on something and everyone groans. I need to watch Justice League again. I just love the fact that the question always sounds like it's absolutely insane and he never explains properly his plans, and when he tries to, he just sounds even crazier. But then he just does stuff and it's like, oh, you know what? He's not that crazy. But then because he's always stuck in his own head, he sometimes misses a bigger picture of a very clear picture that he's being deceived or tricked. It's a very good character. It's a very clever character. It's a very interesting one. It has these very clear flaws to it. Sometimes there aren't flaws, sometimes there are. He's like the Batman, but he was just detective. He just does the detective side of thing. He's got Madcafian energy. Yeah. Oh, he also reminds me a bit of the same reason I like him is a bit similar to the same reason I like Columbo, in the fact that because he's kind of crazy, everyone always underestimates him. I've already realised he's not as crazy or deluded as he sounds. And it's like, oh, the question was actually originally from another comic company that DC bought. Yeah, all the Watchmen characters are based on others from that company, like Captain Atom, who became Dr. Martian. Ooh. That's actually true for a lot of DC comics. That's how they got a lot of their heroes. I think that's even where Batman originally came from, because, wasn't it? Oh no, Batman was originally a detective comic, a DC thing. No, Batman was definitely a DC thing, because DC detective comic, yeah. Well, then wasn't it something else? Wasn't it when Detective Comics joined with like another comic, and that's when it became DC? Because you had like two big comic things. And that's where lots of the original heroes... I can't remember DC lore off the top of my head very well. I need to open up the Wikipedia page. Captain Marvel or the Sham was from Fawcett Comics. They got a cease and desist because he was clearly just Magic Superman in red. Unfortunately, it's very hard to also copyright Superman. I say unfortunately, it's a good thing. But yeah. Just being Magic Superman is charlatan, I think. Same with Blue Beetle. Charlatans, Charlton. Captain Marvel or Shazam. Captain Marvel, I do enjoy the Shazam films. I thought they were pretty fun. Well, the first Shazam film was pretty fun. The second Shazam film I don't think was quite as good. Although I do like the Shazam films because it's a kind of film where I could just sit down and be like, hey, mother, do you want to watch this film with me? And she's like, oh, I like that sort of stuff. She enjoyed the Shazam films. It was nice being able to, you know, sit down with, you know, people who aren't necessarily interested in comic books. And I think that's one of the fun things about Marvel is the fact that it's a film that almost anyone can sit... Well, originally, it was a film that almost anyone could sit down with and enjoy. But Marvel films have changed quite a lot since then. So... Okay, 68. Wildstorm was another comic company DC bought. Plastic Man was some other company, I think, probably. I can't remember all the ones there was. There's a legal principle called "For Idiots in a Hurry." It's why Pepsi isn't allowed to use red cans with curly writing. Ooh. That makes sense. I know that basically there's this idea of things that it has to be visually distinct, so that any layman without too much attention can discern it. So it's like Shazam is, it's harder with character concepts to do a thing. Like, for instance, Gandalf and Dumbledore. If you had Gandalf and Dumbledore next to one another, or you described Gandalf and Dumbledore to someone without using either of the names, could the average person tell them apart immediately? And that's where it becomes very hard with characters. But equally, Gandalf is just a wise old wizard character. But how many wise old wizard characters was before him? Well, the famous one is Merlin, who Gandalf is very clearly an inspiration for, and Merlin doesn't have any copyrights on him. Which is where some copyright law becomes absolutely difficult, especially in America, I believe, because where you've got things where it's very clearly inspired by something older, it becomes very easy to then make derivatives because the old thing doesn't have any copyright protections and can't be copyright protected, and the derivatives can't be copyright protected that easily either. Which is one of the troubles that Disney keeps trying to push around and so on. But then you have more modern versions where they create a trope within the last 100 years and it becomes a trope within its own right. But then they keep trying to copyright the trope, as if it's just them, only them who can use it. Young Justice definitely respects comic book history. It references how Satara debuted at the same time as Superman IRL, but Superman is just a combination of Hercules, Samson, and Moses. Yeah. It's actually one of the cool things as well about... Well, these pieces are slightly warped. I don't want to fit together. You're back! Hello, back! I'm Cupcon! Ow! Yeah. But what is it called? The funny thing is, do you know, like, where Tolkien is often given the thing of, you know, creating for modern fantasy? What I find funny is that Tolkien just used a hell of a lot of Norse mythology for much of the stuff he did. Like, you got for Lucifer and for Dokkathor and stuff like that. And they're basically just for elves. He took so much of Norse mythology for much of his stuff. You timed that perfectly. You did. You did. Oh, goodness. Candles! 4 candles. How many candles? Oh, it's only 3 candles. I can't make the 4 candles joke. If you don't know what the 4 candles joke is, it's a joke about 4 candles. It's, I think it's Old Markham and Wise, or is it 2 Ronnies? One or the other. And it's a little skit where a person goes into a shop and asks for 4 candles, and he gets a handle for a gardening fork instead. And it's like, no, I want 4 candles. Oh, 4 candles! Why didn't you say so? Yeah, 2 Ronnies, that's it. It's funny how the Shire, despite being rural, ideal, it's more technologically advanced than the rest of Middle-earth. It has clocks. It has clocks. One of the things is that if you read the books and read his, you know, his notes and stuff, it's how often he describes things as industrious. The dwarves are highly industrious and skilled craftsmen. They're probably the most technological advance of the side of, you know, for humans and elves and so on. But the orcs are also described as highly industrious and building great machines. In fact, much of a description, like reading it from a book, I don't imagine the orc Middle Earth being like, what's it called? Medieval. You imagine it more like a Victorian era sort of thing, which I guess is actually quite correct, because I think he was very inspired by all this heavy industrialization from his growing up to, because he lived a lot in the...
not 4 candles, 4 candles. Handles 4 forks.
And those are forks. Yuck! He hated industrial. Yeah, he hated industrial. And that's the thing, like, he lived a lot in doing, like, the countryside and stuff, but then when he visited the cities, especially, like, in the north and so on, and then, like, in parts of Germany, and, like, because he was well-travelled, yeah, he really didn't like all these industry and all the smog and everything. And that's what I feel Mordor often is a call to, or inspired by, you know, all of the smoke, all the smog, all these massive factories. And we do see in the films this kind of being seen, especially in the 2 Towers, where we see how they grow for Uruk-hai and stuff, which isn't necessarily super accurate to how they're meant to come around, but this entire idea of them building machines using fire and all this smoke and setting up this huge industry and destroying the landscape around them was definitely the sort of vibe he wanted to go for with it. But I feel a lot of that's lost on a lot of fans of Lord of the Rings, though. It's funny because orcs are seen as anti-civilization in lots of fiction, which is rather anti-machinery. Only Warhammer also makes them crafty. It's actually very weird because originally in the lore for Warhammer, they had villages and towns and stuff like that. And if you went, in the old world for Warhammer Fantasy, if you went for orcs, they'd actually have proper settlements with proper farms. And they worked. They had trading, they traded with humans, they had mercenary things going on. They actually rather had a civilization. Thought Decay kind of started going away from that, and nowadays it definitely doesn't feel like they have a civilization. They are still highly industrialized, I suppose, but it seems, especially in more modern lore, they don't really like the ideas of the orcs being moderately civilized. Whenever they are, it's more of a surprise. It's like, this orc is special because he is civilized, rather than that's just how orcs are and people are surprised to see it. The Dead Marshes may also be inspired by the aftermath of the Battle of the Somme, since he saw it firsthand. Yeah, I've heard that. He does make claims that a lot of these things, like, aren't inspired by real world peoples or whatever, or aren't, but more accurately, aren't based on real world peoples and aren't based on real world stuff. But I think it's very clear that a lot of it is. And I think that's hard to avoid it being that way. Or being seen that way, rather. Like, I don't know what way over way it could be seen. Okay, what part is that? 34. What part is that? 31. 65. 33. Here we go. Do, 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 do. $33, $32. That's 34. Okay, yeah, that's 34 and 32. So I like to glue their hand arms together. On these little sets. So that it's just harder for me to lose them. The difference is he didn't put it in It's a Somu, guys, compared to Asian. Obviously, I have no idea what that's a reference to. Obviously being Jesus. Now, I think there's certain things in his writing where it's way too... It's not very subtle, some of his stuff that he does. Da, 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 da. Aslan. Oh, Aslan. Aslan, sorry. Asian? Why did I read that as Asian? Sorry. Aslan obviously being Jesus. Aslan the Lion in Narnia. Yeah, I was the biggest fan of Narnia. It's still fun. My parents love Narnia. My mother does. Yeah, Aslan is very... Not Aslan. Narnia is very much meant to be a Christian thing. It's very, very... It gets very weird at certain times. And it's not just a factor outside of the books. It's like very much written into the books. There's no subtlety at all. Aslan the Lion from Narnia, yeah. So I completely misread that. To be fair, lions are almost revered as godlike in Asia when they were rarely seen. It's actually amusing that, do you know, certain animals and so on, because I was researching this the other day about what animals would people think are fictional and stuff. It's like back before the modern time and people got to know like animals easily and well from a young age. and got to see photographs, it was very hard to know what animal was what in terms of, you know, being real or being fake. Like unicorns, dragons, those sorts of things. People were likely to believe they were real, while things like rhinos and giraffes, despite them being real, people were very, you know, expected them to not be real. And a similar thing goes for lions, where lots of the time people didn't really know of lions. They had heard stories of them. Yeah, also for ones that the Christian beastry monks writing what they've never heard of. And also for ones that they try to draw these different animals that they've never seen, but they've heard about them, so they're trying to just draw them from descriptions. And it just looks so freaky, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Here you go, 30. $29. But occasionally got pretty close. Yeah. I also like all the drawings of snails in old, you know, monk scribes and stuff. They're hilarious. Like, do you know the knights fighting snails? It just makes it look like medieval people were terrified of snails. Or it's like there's an epidemic of giant man-eating snails. I probably wouldn't have seen TLTWATW as a Christianity parable, except RE in school. Beat that into me. For Lion, for Witch, and for Wardrobe. Oh! Gosh darn, I get it. Aslan is Jesus. Shut up, let me watch a movie. I think because I mostly just watched the films, I apparently did listen. I did listen to the books. I apparently read and, you know, had them read to me as a kid. Apparently I liked them. Apparently my favourite one was the Tales of Prince something or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember the names. But I did watch the films. The films are okay and didn't necessarily get all the Christianity stuff to it. In fact, I honestly just saw Aslan and was like, oh, so he's like Gandalf. Aslan is just Lion Gandalf. The Wicked Witch, oh, that's just Saruman. The Ice Queen. There's a yokai, which is a dragon born from a snail. Want to try that one? Western Knight. Honestly, we'll probably have an easier job. Western Knights were always slaying dragons. Although actually recently I was looking up some stuff about, what's it called, Arthurian legends and stuff. And I was looking at some drawings. And one of them was, you know, of a drawing of killing a dragon. And I was like, oh my gosh, that doesn't look like a dragon. That just looks like a hippogriff or doing like a griffin sort of thing. It looks like a big bird. And it makes me think that maybe some of these supposed dragons were just very, very big birds. Because there was something, I was reading about it, because there were multiple tales from certain islands, you know, around Greece and Rome, over a few hundred years, of birds that could kill men. They were big enough to pick up men, and they dropped them. And they, these things were believed to, you know, be just sort of a over-exaggerated fiction that they like to have. But then they actually found a relatively recent skeleton of a giant bird that could have potentially been big enough to pick up a man and drop him. Or at least children. I mean, now we know owls can do that to children, like modern owls. But it was recent enough that it might have been alive, that this thing might have been around in Greek and Roman times. And these things might have actually led to stories of, you know, these great winged beasts and things like dragons. And then when you look at these old drawings of people slaying dragons, and they sometimes just look like great big birds, it's like, and by like a great big bird, it's not like a massive bird, it's just a bird that's like this big enough to be able to pick up a person and be a threat to them. So it wouldn't be surprising if these birds actually did kind of exist for a while, but they all got hunted to extinction, and they only survived in small enough numbers that we don't really have fossils for them in recent times. I say fossils, you know, remains of them. One issue is that often people only saw skeletons of creatures, so when people would create illustrations, they would draw them with little to no muscles, so they would never match a real thing. Yeah, or they'll draw them in a very different light because they would only see partial ones. Hello, Erland! Gift returned back! Gift returned back! No, yeah, these things were just absolutely insane. Oh yeah, but only see partial skeletons, like, do you know, partial parts of things? So they'd, like, do you know, the krakens and so on are thought to have been inspired by remains of giant squid washing up on shore. Yeah. I have cornbread cupcake. No! Don't eat them! For we know, a T-Rex might have all kinds of fatty lumps and bumps. Yeah, I like all the drawings of the T-Rex is just like a big old chicken. A big old chicken. It's like... I mean, it could have. It probably did. It probably did have fatty lumps. Especially considering it's such a big creature. Like, if you look at other creatures that are around today and are massive, you've got the elephant and the mammoths. Well, the mammoths aren't around today, but you know what I mean. They were around, and we know what they look like because we got very well frozen and fossils of them. But we... Oh, John, I just dropped a piece. But they're very big, they're very fat too. If then you look at other animals, you got the whales, very big, very fatty. You got the polar bears, very big, very fatty. Now, these do exist mostly in colder climates, mind you. At least, you know, the bears and the whales do. But then it's like, again, for elephants, though, very muscular, very big, very fatty, lots of extra skin and stuff. And it all makes a lot of sense. And when we look at just other massive animals that exist and can exist, they usually have quite large fatty deposits. Or quite large muscularity around them and long skin. Giraffe has very thick skin, and like the giraffe skin sometimes seems to hang off them a little bit. Okay, these two pieces do not seem to go too well together. Oh, but they do. They do go to, do they? Okay, no, those two arms can't go together. Okay, I'll just put those two to one side for now. New Zealand has an extinct giant eagle called the Hastas eagle that used to hunt moa birds. Moa birds! What's a moa bird? Sorry. Oh gosh. Yeah, big emu. Ooh, big emus! Ooh. That'll be a hard thing to hunt. Because emus are already pretty big, aren't they? emus for one war. The crazed heretics could never win. For heretics? Why do I call them heretics? Where's 31? It was over here. The Australians couldn't win. There we go. Bigger land bird, moose size, a true evil is a cassowary. Well, the cassowary is that dino for predator that was believed to hunt mammals for a long time after the dinosaurs, isn't it? Oh, no. Wait, no, cassowary is a real one. A modern one, isn't it? I don't know. I know that there's a big old bird that couldn't fly and it ran on these super powerful legs and had this giant beak, and it was like believed to hunt mammals. And it was like an ancient predator that existed for a very long time. There's a murder turkey that can kick through steel. Okay, I can kick through steel. That's not a big... If a cupcake can kick through steel, then you're going to need a bit of a bigger thing. 33, 32, that means I'm looking for 34 next. You're thinking of terror birds? Yee. I absolutely adore those birds. I say adore them, they're scary. I remember watching an old documentary and as a kid, and honestly, it absolutely terrified me. It's like I didn't want to go into tall grass anymore because I bet it's like Pokemon. Go into the tall grass. I'm like, no, no! Because yeah, they had these birds and it was they were hunting in tall grass and they were hiding there and they couldn't see them until they were basically sprinting at you at like 60 miles an hour with this great big mouth. Great primeval episode where terror birds was very scary. Oh. 64 primeval. Primeval was great. Was the documentary Walker with Beasts? Probably. I know those things weren't the most accurate stuff ever. But as a kid, you learn to love it. I love those things. I was like, oh. I also like them because they inspire a lot to do like my ideas of when I like to draw little horror characters that could biff you up. There we go. Move that to one side. Okay, what am I doing? I should go over the other arm for first. It's piece 34. Okay, that doesn't have 34 on it. Maybe I already used piece 34. Was it piece 34 I wanted? No. Okay, maybe it's piece 28 I wanted. I think I'm in the same situation as before. Jurassic Park was very off with the raptors, even more than the book. Yeah. But accurate information they had at the time, as was Walking with Dinosaurs and Jurassic Park. No, Jurassic Park wasn't the most accurate the information it had at the time. Back then, people were already talking about shrink wrapping. And that being said, some of the documentaries also did shrink wrapping. We also had the entire idea of Dino from hunting small creatures, yet it's believed that the T-Rex wouldn't hunt small creatures, they would hunt big creatures, and they'd mostly scavenge and conserve energy. That was a believed hypothesis at the time. And it's probably still the thing now. The other thing with Jurassic Park is the dinosaurs would probably suffocate because the environment has changed significantly since when they were alive. It would be very hard to survive because you'd be struggling for air. You'd struggle for air if you went back in time, and they'll be struggling too. It's one of the issues of, do you know why we don't get as many issues? One of the reasons why we don't get insects that are absolutely giant, you know, like they had back in dinosaur times. It's partly due to the change of the atmosphere, it's believed. In the book, they all had altitude sickness, although the carnivores could power through. Otherwise, they wouldn't be scary, I guess. Yeah. Diancutus isn't as cool a name as Velociraptor. Yeah, Velociraptor is a cool name. Can't blame them too much of that. There's a hand position, but that's an old complaint. The book only gave them the wrong name. Spielberg doubled their size, and the Dilophosaurus film was complete fiction. If I make a bug with a cupcake batter, is it a bug or cupcake? Cupcake. If we make anything with cupcake batter, it's a cupcake. Well, oh, it's a cake anyway. It's not necessarily a cupcake, but it is a cake. The book also applied the hatchet theory to the Rex, meaning it implied that it didn't kill with bite force. Oh. I should make a Nurgle themed cake. Nurgles! Everyone loves Nurgle. Everyone loves Nurgle. Everyone loves your good old friend, Mr. Nurgle, in his pants. Do 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 do. Nurgle, Nurgle, Nurgle. He's a Nurgle, Nurgle guy. Gives you a purple Nurgle and stabs you in the eye. Yuck. The giant insects predated the dinosaurs by a few million years. Yeah. By the time of the dinosaurs, the oxygen levels are close. So I thought they were still nitrogen-y back then. To be honest, I am trying to remember an old book, mind you. But I might have misread at the time because I was a kid. Well, so they are close to what we have now anyway. That's surprising. I also read something about the nitrogen levels were also important. The Dilophosaurus was a lot bigger IRL too, maybe chest high. Maybe it was just a Baba one in the film. Maybe it was just a Baba. Ah, Baba. A good old Baba. There we go. Clip these pieces. Oh, then I've got the little scout arms. Little scouty arms. Ba-ba-dum. 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 You stood there, right where you're standing. I want a cupcake by your life. Ba-da-da-da-da. Cupcake by your life. I thought Delos were like 2.5 meter tall. 2.5 meter tall! That's like still shorter than me. Still shorter than me. Hammond of a book was an awful boss, but Nedry seemed a lot more justified in double crossing. To be honest, Hammond also seems like an awful boss in the film. He just feels much more awful because he's incompetent, not awful because he's evil. I've never read the Jurassic Park books. In fact, I wasn't aware for a very long time that there was even books. And if you told me, I would just assume they were books written after the film rather than vice versa. The Delios in Jurassic Park were made up because they didn't have a complete skeleton at the time. Now they have a complete skeleton. It was the size of an Allosaurus, or a bit bigger or smaller. Oh, shameful plug, but Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong is an amazing YouTube channel. Ooh, shameful plug. Why does that mean you own it? Jurassic Park can get away with scientific inaccuracies because of the amphibian DNA. Frogs hunt by movement, which would explain the T-Rex. To be honest, I think the frog DNA just makes it all magic in the end. So it can get away in a lot in my mind. Either way, the Dillo in the movie was titchy. It was titchy. Weren't Allosauruses, like, believed to be much larger than they were for a long time?
A line from the novel, Good God, You're a Woman.
Good God, you're a woman. Oh my goodness. Women exist? I thought they were just arranged mythology. Like the Tales of Arthur. Or how you can get a Greg's pasty for £1.
Ah, life finds a way.
Life finds a way. Do you know Pound Bakery doesn't sell any pasties for £1 anymore, apparently? Except for a sausage and roll. And it's like, oh, you have to pay like £1.69 for your second pasty, or any more pasties you get for £1. I'm like, oh. So sad. So sad. You know I'm British when I'm talking about the prices of pasties. Were you paying the anthology now? McDonald's used to have a 99p menu. Yeah. Oh, 99 pence. That being said, McDonald's could easily make us such a menu again. Because burgers and fries are not that expensive. In fact, I know some like takeouty places where you can buy stuff like that cheap. There we go. No. There we go. Sorry, I've just got this piece is being weird on me. There you go. I haven't eaten McDonald's since they shrunk down for Big Mac and jacked up the prices. I've not eaten at McDonald's, well, I say at, I've not ordered McDonald's in, well, since sometime last year, actually. Actually, probably closing into the year anniversary since then, because they changed how they cook the food. So, if you don't know, when I say that I can't really have onions and garlic, it's like big serious. I'm not allergic to them, but they make me incredibly ill and can like basically bring me to death's door. technically not an allergy. It's just... but they changed how they do stuff without making any big announcements, so I didn't know until it was way too late to do anything. And okay, his arm's like way too small for that. Oh, it's different arms, that's why. Okay. No, this is why I'm struggling with these pieces being awkward. Those arms are from that sprue, but for this gun on this sprue. These arms on this sprue are for the gun from that sprue. Yeah, anyway, they changed how they were doing cooked them. So now that when they cook the patties, they cook the onions on the same grill, and they cook the patties with the onions. That means even if you ask it without onions, you are going to get onion juices all over the patties and all over your food and your bun and stuff. And that meant, like, I was being seriously ill. And then I realised every time I had McDonald's, it was that. And then I decided to go. I stopped having McDonald's after that point. Like, but it makes me ill for a long time. And then I start feeling better. And then I'm like, oh, okay, when I'm feeling better, I end up deciding to have a McDonald's because I'm still feeling exhausted and can't be bothered cooking. And then, yeah. But yeah, it just absolutely killed me. And then I googled into them and I was like, oh, they changed the recipes. But the article I found was itself dating back to like saying, 2 weeks ago, McDonald's changed things. It's like, okay, this explains it. All it takes is a single pasty to knock me out. A single pasty, a single sandwich, single burger. Five Guys is expensive, but you do get a lot. I've never tried Five Guys, partly because it's expensive and partly because nothing's close enough for me to order. And secondly, I have to be very careful when I order food because I have to make sure that the place I'm ordering from follows certain hygienic codes and doesn't, you know, they don't keep the onions and garlic in the same way. So I don't get what happened to McDonald's effectively, where I'm ordering food without onions, garlic or anything like that. And then I get that anyway. So Burger King is actually relatively good, or at least the Burger King's near me. There's a Big Daddy, which is just a Big Mac in its original size. Ooh. I've not heard many good things about Five Guys, from long waits to food not being as good as advertised to all sorts of stuff. Love the fries, but expensive. I don't mind Burger King. I think Burger King has much better fries than McDonald's. Again, near me. Because for a lot crisper fries of the Burger Kings, they take way longer to fulfill your orders in all my experiences. But the fries are often a lot crispier and they're a lot thicker. But they're just a lot nicer in general. And the burgers are often, I'd say, if you enjoy actual burgers, the Burger King ones are nicer because they're usually a bit bigger. And they are for flame grilled cooked. I think a lot of people would prefer flame grilled over just normal grill. They also generally have better buns and stuff because for McDonald's they use these very high in sugar, so very sweet buns that are very soft. While Burger King uses ones that are just more like the ones you'd buy from the shop sort of stuff. Not quite them, but more similar in, you know, savoury quality. It's more expensive than McDonald's, mind you, but that being said, when I bought from McDonald's, I bought 3 burgers, double cheeseburgers, and when I buy from Burger King, I just buy 1 cheeseburger because the cheeseburger's like this big. The McDonald's cheeseburger's like this big.
Fire good. Me am chief, want big fire. May bookie stickle, toot sweet.
But add fact we're insisting the nuggets are real chicken. Now the thing is they are real chicken. In Britain, they are real chicken. It's similarly, their patties are just beef. If you go in, or they should be. Legally speaking, that's what they should be. If they're not, they're doing illegal practices and false advertising. But if you go to America, are they real chicken? Maybe not. Is it real beef? And is that all he gets in? In Britain, yes, it's just beef. It's just got a bit of salt on it. That's it. And same with most of Europe and much of the world, actually. But in America, they have all sorts of really weird food laws. Like, for instance, it says pure beef, 86%, and then it has a little asterisk mark. And you don't know what else is in it. They don't legally have to tell you. It's like they just got this asterisk mark saying that basically there might be other stuff inside of it. What stuff's inside of it? I don't know. It's like I got an American friend and he likes to show me like the American versions of stuff. I'm like, haven't I just show him all of the food laws that they're breaking if this was British? And it's like, yeah, this is why I do not ever want to go to America, or at least if I did, I don't want to eat any food because their food laws are just so lax. Oh, goodness. McDonald's chicken to their burgers. Yeah. I did try eating some chicken nuggets the other day, but I really didn't like the McDonald's chicken nuggets. In fact, I prefer the chicken nuggets I buy for 99p. In a big bag of frozen chicken nuggets you can buy for 99 pence from the store, and you can bung them in a microwave or whatever and cook them up. They are way better, personally. It's like, it might have just been the batch I had was a bad one, but it put me off McDonald's chicken nuggets forever. Big health guy in the US wants to get all the chemicals out of their food, apparently. All of them! But food is chemicals. I do find it funny, you know, sometimes where you have to tell people, it's like, I know that you don't want chemicals in your food, and I'm all for that, but the thing you're complaining about is actually just a natural ingredient. It's like, why does it have a chemistry name? Because it's an element. It's basically like complaining salt's in your food, which, okay, you can complain there's too much salts in it, but... Or water's in your food. That's a chemical. Oh, it's American beef cattle is fed growth stuff. Yeah. All the weird, not actually food ones. Yeah, okay, all the weird ones. I'll be big doubts about that, unfortunately, because America's said all these things about food laws and whatever, and it's been going on decades, and they rarely get better. In fact, some of the laws, they've actually retracted a few relatively over the years. I believe a few years ago, they retracted some laws and they just never, you know, put them back in place afterwards. It's like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of America. At least the American food system. America's not the only one. Canada is honestly not much better than America for their food practices. They're honestly terrible. Like, if I notice that it says from Canada on the packaging, I have to be careful and make sure that it doesn't have any nasty stuff in it, because sometimes the things where it's from Canada can. Because we can import... But it's basically like if you go to a store and they do speciality stuff, they can sometimes sell things from America or Canada or whatever. I mean, not all food in America and Canada is necessarily bad, mind you. Because I do know that, like, there's certain companies that go to very, very good methods and very far to make sure that the food that they actually produce is good, but a lot of companies don't do that, and there's no laws forcing them to do that, which is always annoying because you never know when someone else is going to take over the company and change it, or when they're going to have a change of heart.
Dihydrogen monoxide kills people, don't you know?
Yeah, it does. People drown in it. Apparently, since some synthesized carcinotic dye is cheaper than natural food colours. Yeah. American chocolate uses spoiled milk. That actually, I know why that comes from and why that happens. It's because originally when they did the milk and the chocolates and stuff, because America's so large, they got the milk from like over here, but they had a factory over here. So the milk spoiled on its way to the factory. But then they ended up getting refrigerated trucks. But by the time they got refrigerated trucks, people didn't like the taste of a new chocolate because they got so used to the old version of a chocolate. So they continued using spoiled milk because that's what people were used to. Which is why often when Europeans go to America, like when I went to America when I was very young, I remember eating Hershey's for the first time and just literally we all got nauseous from it. We realised very quickly we cannot have chocolates in America because it tastes sickly. It just makes us want to vomit. And it's the same with a lot of Europeans when you go over. Not everyone. I believe my sister actually ended up developing a taste for American chocolate, but they have an opposite reaction to European beer because it's much less watered down. They tend not to like it. Yeah. It's Hershey's recipe. I prefer European chocolate to American chocolate. Hershey chocolate tastes like throw up. Yeah, that's what I always had the issue with. It's not just Hershey's chocolate that's an issue with, but Hershey being the biggest brand in America definitely created that issue. Unfortunately, also, they have some very weird practices with food in general. And it's like when Mondelez bought out Cadbury's, the quality of Cadbury's has been dropping significantly. And it's like every year there's been another drop in Cadbury quality. And the standards and stuff that they do. They even lost the world warrant. It's terrible. Heresy owns like Heresy owns like 90% of American chocolate factories. I mean, Hershey-ish Heresy. Yeah, like before they acquired Cadbury, I loved Cadbury chocolate too. And for a while afterwards, I still enjoyed it. But when I ended up having to take a big break from Cadbury chocolate because of my health, and it was just one of those times still where you have some really bad stomach issues, and the last thing you ate was a certain product, then you can't eat that product again without having that same reaction. That's what I had for a while. And then when I came back to Cadbury's, I was like, oh. I'm struggling to find chocolate I like still now. I don't want to eat Nestle chocolates, although I do enjoy the taste of Kit Kats and stuff like that, because Nestle is just such a terrible company. I have gone back to eating some Milky Way stars and those sorts of things, for the Mars chocolate. Although again, I don't think Mars chocolate's the best than that Galaxy chocolate. I can't eat Galaxy chocolate for like a few days because after a while I just suddenly start getting a weird aftertaste from it and just don't like that. Cadbury inspired Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reliving the darkest timeline. Who knew that Charlie the Chocolate Factory, do you know all that, grim dark fandom stuff from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Who knew that would be foretelling? Who knew it would be foretelling? Next, we're going to have the owner of Mondelez making a snow piercer.
We use all natural ingredients, scorpion venom, asbestos and volcanic glass.
Oh, yeah. And that way with chai lattes. Oh, chai lattes, not chai lettuce. Yeah, my mother's like that with mint ice cream because she had appendicitis and her appendix exploded when she was eating mint ice cream. So, can't blame her for that. I'm that way with ravioli, actually, and Subway rolls. Do you know those long thin rolls? They're the kind of ones you have for hot dogs, but they're covered in flour. Yeah, anything like that, where it's called a Subway roll, ends up making me a bit sick. It's because around my exam period, my grandfather died, and I had my stomach issue was getting very, 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 very bad, and I was also taking exams. And my sister was in had recently suffered a serious injury, and like she completely destroyed her teeth and a lot of her jaw from landing on a grate. So she was like needed a lot of help. So my parents were always busy. My father was commuting. This is just trauma dumping right now. But yeah, I had this ridiculously horrible time. And then for my physics exam, I wanted to be a physicist, remember? I had to get myself to school to get the exam done. I was extremely ill at the time. The last thing I ate was ravioli and a Subway roll. Because I had to make myself my own tea and was in such a rush. And then I spent most of the exam, almost the entire exam, in the nurse's office, vomiting. The entire time. It was horrible. I cannot eat ravioli anymore since that day. Or about those Subway things. I still passed the exam and still managed to get to university. Oh, goodness. No, it wasn't expired. I was just really ill. I have a serious stomach problem, and when I'm stressed out, it makes me more ill. And at the time, it was extremely stressful. This is not only... It's mental stress, physical stress makes me more ill. One of the most stressful points in my life. And yeah, I was just absolutely... It was the most important exam that I could possibly take as well, because this would determine if I could even get into university. And like, because I wanted to be a physicist, so I was extremely stressed out. My stomach issue was not having a fun time. I was just... Yeah, even now, even thinking about them, it just makes me still queasy. My co-worker, when she had a heart attack, was eating Subway, and she won't touch Subway anymore. Yeah, trauma sandwich. Oh, but it's one thing. I do think afterwards, when I came home... No, afterwards, when I was putting stuff away, I noticed on the rest of the roll of the submarines, they had a bit of mould on them. I doubt that actually made me ill in the end. But they did have a little bit of mould. It probably didn't contribute to me, because when I had that going through my head with the rest of my stresses. There's actually way more going on at that time than even then. But yeah, that was a terrible... This is just how good I am at... I spent about 5 minutes doing the exam. I spent about 5 minutes throughout the entire thing. About 15 minutes, actually. If I'm being serious, I spent 15 minutes just trying to rush through the exam and do as much of it as I could. Which, thankfully, I was good enough at physics. I was good enough at maths and stuff. I remember being one of the only people who got 100% in the country for doing certain maths exams. And there was one maths exam where they accidentally sent the wrong question. And because you didn't have enough information, considering the level we were at, to actually answer the question. You had to basically know theorem and stuff, or be able to understand the equations that we hadn't been taught. So it was basically like an A-level exam. Not an A-level, like a different exam from a higher level had been put into it. That's actually, no, yeah, that was on my A-level. That was on my GCSEs when I had a maths exam. And my A-levels exams, I also did really well. And yeah, that's just, you might not know, but I'm very, very good at maths. I'm a physicist. I'm a VTuber who's a physicist. Who knew it? Actually, there's a few VTubers who's a physicist. Penumbra was a physicist, I believe. He was a biophysicist. And you want me to cook your gentle soups? No, soup. My mother keeps wanting to make me a bone broth at the moment. I'm like, no, I don't want a bone broth. I don't want a bone broth. I always had the goals I did back when I was younger, but I got slapped with a life way too early and realised it was meh. Yeah, unfortunately, there's multiple reasons I ended up having to stop physics. Part is my health, and partly is I became very disenchanted and disillusioned with the world of physics, in which just so many physicists are out there for themselves and not really interested in expanding into the unknown and the research side of things. And I just became seeing all this backstabby side of physics in real life just had me go, you know what? Like, I didn't care about money. It's like you could pay me minimum wage and I just sit in a little lab by myself and just doing experiments, trying to expand human understanding. I've already just got these other physicists who are trying to steal one another's credit from stuff, trying to discredit something just because it slightly messes with their ideas rather than accepting it and trying to... It's crazy. You make me want to cook gentle soups. Carrot and coriander, best suit. Coriander. Oh, I can have coriander. I can have little bits of coriander. I have it in my... when I make... Coriander's what you do when you want to make salsa. Because when I learned to make tacos, coriander, and then I started putting that in the pastas I make, the tomato pastas, because it gives them a nice weird flavour. Carrots, I'm not a big fan of carrot soup. I love carrots, but carrot soup, I love carrots in soup. I just don't like carrot soup. Like, do you know carrot chunks in soup? That's nicer. Oh, goodness. Let's get another box of Black Templars anyway. Well, I've gone through how many boxes? I've gone through one big box, that was the vehicle. I've gone through the Terminator box and the Devastator box. And a couple of other sprues. We're not doing too shabby, I say. If I am getting distracted by talking to you guys, stop just talking to me, you're distracting. Oh gosh. Also, I just trauma dumped way too much on you guys. I'm sorry. I hate coriander. I don't know if I have a soap taste thing because I don't eat soap. No, I do agree that coriander, like by itself especially, has a soapy taste, but I do think that cooking it into other foods can help with the taste. Like it's not just help with the taste of coriander, but cooking it into other foods helps add a flavour to the foods that's not just soap. Like, if you don't add a lot to it, it can help adjust the flavours, but then if you add too much, maybe you do get that soapy taste. Elias said something similar about the competitive nature. Scientific world. Yeah. It's not nice. It's not a place for, like... I mean, I'll probably still be there. I mean, I end up getting into weapons and stuff, so... It's crazy when the world of weaponry, people are more likely to work together than in the world of science. Like just plain old science. Like trying to work in a team in...
You fool of a took. If you didn't want to be distracted, you shouldn't have streamed. Honestly, you brought this on yourself.
It's true, it's true. I like Cuptle sometimes. The Cuptle has like these weird inflections to stuff and it's so cute. You brought this on yourself. Don't get me started on people who leave cardamom pods in the food. Cardamom. War breeds innovation, except in 40k. Except in 40k. Actually, I mean, it kind of does, but then they just stamp on the innovation. Yeah. One of those crazy things is, But then you actually realise that many of the people in the weapons industry don't actually want, war and stuff. A lot of them are more peace-minded people. They very much follow the ideology of speak softly and carry a big stick. Is what a lot of people in the industry Or like, and then you get 30, what are these ones? 31, 34, okay, 31 and 30 over here. Yeah, speak softly, carry a big stick. That's what lots of people like in the industry. What was I going to say? I don't know. Words have just escaped me. Oh yeah, like trying to work on doing one of those projects where it's oh, what do they call them? I should know this word. I keep forgetting the word. Oh, it's not a study group. But do you know where you get a group of people and you just basically ask for opinion and stuff? And the group has to basically act a bit like a jury and trying to decide the ways to go. Oh yeah, it's easier to work in one of them about weapons and do like what certain nations are like and so on. Focus group, yeah, it's easier to work in one of them than sometimes it is trying to work in with a group of other like-minded scientists or who are supposedly like-minded on like a group project sort of thing, where you're just trying to work together to prove a theory or to set up an experiment or whatever. It's crazy. Oh, it's the amount of them. It's like for people out there that... Oh. I don't even know why they did physics. I don't even know why they got involved in it, because they honestly, I don't even know how they survive it, because you talk to them, it's like they don't have any clue what they're talking about. It's like, why? What? Oh, committee, yeah. Focus groups and committees and stuff, but yeah. It's crazy. It's a crazy world out there. Yeah. That being said, maybe other places aren't good and I got unlucky. I know my sister-in-law is in a similar sort of thing where she works, she doesn't work in physics. She works in... with rocks, geology and type stuff. And she has a similar sort of thing of just... so many of her colleagues are just horrible people to work with. Always trying to take credit for all the work, but never wanting to do the work. And then always effectively trying to bully people into things. Although she works at a university, and one of the biggest complaints is how no one wants to actually teach at a university. They only ever want to... what's it called? They're just there for effectively for paycheck. With some people just actively trying to sabotage students that seem to be doing well because they don't, if you just view them as competition, it's like, okay then, that sounds evil. And then my brother also had his research paper stolen for, well, not his, not research paper, that's the wrong word. His work stolen for his... Again, it's a word I should... Look, this is an issue with me. I keep tripping over words. Oh, it's a word I should know. At the end, when he was studying for... It's the last part of his PhD. Hypothesis, yeah. Is it hypothesis, maybe? But yeah, the last part of his PhD where you have to basically write a big paper, and then it was basically stolen by his professor. And then he found out a lot later. I was like, oh goodness. It's very easy to become disillusioned. People will be people, never mind where they are. Humans will do human stuff. You know. Plagiarism could sue for that. Yeah, he did do, I'm not entirely sure of all the ins and outs because I don't follow my brother's life too well. Alright, I'm gonna have to go and get to a shower. I've got a BFG game. Bye bye, Anthony. Enjoy your Battlefield Gothic game. This is why I live in a forest. Dissertation. Oh yeah, that was probably it. Sometimes words just... It's probably dissertation. Sometimes words just leave my head and then I can't find them. Again, okay, put this to one side and then when there's a spare arm, use it. Oh, goodness. I think my sister had an easier time with stuff. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. My back. I'm stretching. I don't like people. I sometimes say I don't see my friends as people. I get that feeling. I have this issue sometimes of where I speaking to my friends online and stuff is great when I don't speak to them that often, and then when we do speak it's like we catch up, blah blah blah, and we just speak about random things. But then when I actually spend time with my friends, especially in real life, and we start getting onto different topics, I start to feel more and more like an alien, and then I don't like that. It's very difficult. Thankfully, I've got some very understanding friends that I'm weird. Probiotic soda. Probiotic soda! That means it supports bionics. Cyber bionics. You know. 62, 61. 62, 61. 62, 61. And we've got so much fun. Na 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 na. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Problematic soda. Problematic soda. Oh no, that says probiotic. At first I did start reading as problematic, and then I was like, no, that's not what it says. Oh goodness, we got into relatively dark topics, didn't we? I guess. You know, we need to go. This is one of the reasons I don't like Satsu. Sometimes it just gets way too into a certain way. And then I can't escape it with video games. Video game, you can just focus on a video game when your mind starts wandering to the wrong places. Satsu though, Satsu, no. Just wants to biff me up. It wants to biff me up, it does. Actually, no, I like Satsus. It's one of the reasons I have anxiety around Satsus. I'm like, oh no! Oh no! Ba 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 ba. Okay, maybe this one. Maybe this one could go here. Nah, those arms too different. Okay, let's try this different sprue over here. 66. But what about 64? There's 63 down here. 68. $67 for 68. Those two go together. Okay, I think this is because I use some shotgun arms on this or something. Maybe. Oh no. Oh no, I'm just struggling to find the pieces I want. Ah, whatever. Okay, 36, 62, and 35. Surely those go together. There you go. What is your favourite chocolate though? I'm trying to find, if anyone knows of a good British chocolate that's not super expensive, I need to find it, because I'm trying to find some, like, because sometimes I crave a little bit of chocolate. Not a lot of chocolate, because I can't have lots of chocolate. But sometimes I crave chocolate. I'm like, I can't have Cadbury's because it tastes awful. Galaxy is one where I quickly don't like the flavour. Like, I just start getting an aftertaste after a while. I'm like, not my cup of tea. There you go. Tony's is nice. I need to try Tony's again, because I've seen some of those, you know, Tony's boxes, because my father has been gifted them a few times and shared them. I'm like, they're boxes of various Tony's chocolates. Maybe I need to try one of them again, because I didn't really like it too much when we last had it. But I keep hearing good things about that one. That'll be good. Oh. Oh. One day we will go to Satsu on Luna. I kind of want to get... Do you know old recipes and stuff that companies don't use anymore? Like Cadbury's old recipe. I kind of want to make a company that uses Cadbury's old recipe, and when Cadbury tries to stop me, I'll go, you're not using it. And then just like try to figure out if I can do something. You know, like get a legal precedent set up. Or do you using something that a company no longer uses but has a copyright over? And then I'll make original recipe Coca-Cola. I'm joking. No. Don't quote me on that one. That was a joke. A joke. 64, 60. Oh, there's a 64 here. 64 for 65. Oh, but there's no 65 here. That means I can use this. Here's my shameless plug, tasting history. It made sugar plums. Sugar plums. Here we go. 64. What are sugar plums? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making Cadbury's chocolate as it originally was. Call it Dadbury's chocolate. Wait, we got Daddy's sauce. We call it Daddy's chocolate. And then I'll get a royal seal of approval. So, because the royal family have removed their seal of approval for Cadbury's. Ever had a Jordan almond? That's one kind. I've never had a Jordan almond. I don't know what Jordan almond really is. That piece doesn't go with that piece. Maybe this piece goes here. That piece does go very nice. You take a small fruit or nut laid in gum, Arabic, and sugar syrup, colour it, finish with shellac. Shellac! Shazam! Shellac isn't the same as shasham, is it? It should be, but I doubt it is. Something somewhere in my mind says shellac is not shasham. I kind of tried making my own chocolate once. Like, do you know, from cocoa powder? I say once, I tried a few attempts. None of them went well. I made cake. I made icing. I made ice cream. All of this in an attempt to make chocolate. None of it was chocolate. It's technically shellac because it comes from the female lac beetle. The lac beetle. What does it lack? Oh, I caught you lacking. She lacking. Oh gosh. She lacking. No, I could not be a chef. I'd just be making puns all of the time. I have a food order, chef. Well, why do you have it? Give it to the customer. It's like, okay. Like, is that a sausage in my pocket, or just happy to see it as a sausage? I'm carrying around sausages in my pockets. Actually, it's a knife. I'm sorry. I just carry around knives in my pockets. It's okay. That's just how I do now. Never mind. Exercise time. Never exercise. Okay, maybe we should exercise. Maybe we should, but that's only a maybe. A hesitant maybe. Who else in Warhammer doesn't like having helmetless soldiers? The only ones I'm like, that's kind of fine is a guardsman, because, you know, the guardsmen are guardsmen. They do what guardsmen do. And that's mostly die. And a helmet's going to make that harder. No, guardsmen, because they're just normal humans, and the helmets aren't anything special, and it's probably not going to save a life anyway. Space Marines and my neophytes on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be giving you helmets. And my scouts. Like, yeah, you're getting helmets. You might not want helmets, but you're getting them anyway. 28. 36. Okay, I need to find 35 and 37 probably. That's 28. That's 32.
It is a guardsman's highest honor to be yeeted behind enemy lines by an Astartes.
Yeah! Yeet that guardsman! 34. That's not what I want. There's another one I want. Do, do, do. No one I want. Oh, but I did find 35. Okay, now, based on previous things, it should just be 36 that I want. Do, 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 do. Ow! Okay, I got 34, but that's definitely not the correct piece. 33, 32. Yeah, 34 is this one. Okay, for some reason it's 28. It's the only other piece it could be. Did someone say yeet? What did he yeet at me? I want to know. I was looking down at my model bits. I was watching my model bits, doing the bitty dance. Banana. Banana! Why would you do that with a banana? Banana, banana, banana for you. Banana, banana for me. A banana, a banana. Can I interest you in a banana? Or perhaps an orange? 5 gold? You hope? Some children? My children? We need for food. So I can afford food for them. That's not just bananas. If you don't know what I'm trying to make a reference to, and failing very badly at doing so, it's Viva La Dirt League, Hamish's character from the epic NPC man, where he plays a fruit merchant who has a family that he can scarcely afford to keep alive, and then his family keeps having horrible stuff happen to it throughout the stories. Like his daughter being kidnapped by wolves over and over again. Him being forced to pay 10,000 gold as a reward for a quest, and he's trying to offer instead a big bushel of bananas. It's amazing. If you've not watched Viva La Dirt League sketches, the epic NPC mans, they're great. They make fun of Skyrim a lot, and World of Warcraft, and pretty much all of that entire genre. I think even Dark Souls once or twice. Very meta. But the good type of meta, not the meta that's Facebook. Don't you love it when companies just change a name because a company gained a bad reputation, so they change a name to avoid a bad reputation? And then everyone just goes along with it and suddenly forgets who they are. Like, oh, what's it called? Every, or whatever they named. Being that, oh, Hermes. Hermes Delivery, that renamed itself Every. And they honestly, now Every has a really bad reputation. Like, somehow they managed to reset their reputation doing that. And now they've regained an extremely bad reputation because they never improved. They just changed the name. Oh, darn it. There we go. Okay, now it's a 68, piece 68. It's another neophyte arm. And we want piece 67 next. Or 60, yeah, 67. And then preferably 69, but the only other piece is 66. But we also have 63 here. We have 2 spare arms. from this kit, and we got 2 guns that want arms, so hopefully this works. Banana. Slot 100. Don't gamble on my watch! Oh, I just threw my gun away. Gold, gold, gold! You got monies! Oh, so where did I throw my gun to? I accidentally threw my gun. My gun! Give me my gun, you chunk of jackalopes. You won 400. Oh my gosh, you won 4 times. You weren't supposed to look. You're gambling in my chat. Of course I'm gonna look. Okay, it's on the floor down here somewhere. Hopefully. The grey piece on the light grey floor. This is not very easy. How far did I throw this thing? Guys, the piece is on the floor somewhere. Did you win, Cedrin? Where did you bounce to? Oh! Give me all the pieces. Ow! Whacked into my head, my microphone. It was one of those things. I just moved my hand like this, and I was holding the gun, and it was like just like that, and it just went. It was like this. It was like this. I went. Ah! It shan't be lost forever. Okay, where is it? Let's just make sure I didn't just accidentally drop it on the desk. No, okay. Let's look. Trajectory would put it as... Enter your mind, Palace Cupcake. It bounced at 17 knots a second. It would not land in a not place. Okay, I didn't hear anything when it landed. I didn't hear anything. She started calculating trajectories. It's so over. So that means it probably landed straight to the carpet. Either that, or it landed on me. I didn't feel anything. Check pockets. Oh, I thought it like fell in my pocket then. But no, it didn't. Guys, it's Jova. It's Jova. Unless somehow it ended up in here. Okay, the headphones are coming off, partly because it hurts in my ears anyway. I'm coming off. I'm good on it. Okay. It's a large piece. No. It's not allowed to be lost. Ow. Not escaped under the door. Under the computer. I found a pair of gloves. Okay, no, it's lost forever. It's lost forever. It's lost forevermore. She doesn't realise it yet. Yep. Still in denial. Nope. Nope, it's lost forever. I'm gonna mourn. Found it! It was in this box. It did land in the box. It's fine. It's fine. No wonder we couldn't find it. As soon as I give up, it just appears. It appears magically. Okay, just trim down this end. There we go. Sometimes you just have to give up hope and then things will sort itself out, you know? If you don't give up hope, it will never sort itself out. Okay, does this go here? The answer is no. Does this go here? The answer is probably. There we go. Kind of works. Does this go here? Probably. We got it working. Okay, so no AI is back. Apparently I've heard so, but apparently it might actually be an AI now. Apparently they did an AI cover, but people aren't sure if it's Vocaloid or actual AI. Probably just Vocaloid, to be honest. Considering they just said voice model. Wash your mouth with soap, Conjuror. Why? This is just a thing that I've heard about since the apparent return of Kisuna, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I never watched her. So I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. That's vehicles. Yeah, I'm starting a video right now. Along with your stream. Oh. But you're spreading unfounded rumours. That's just a thing that... The cover song that she's just released is a model. It wasn't the singer singing. It was using the voice model instead. Which to me sounds like Vocaloid. I do that too often. Well, that was not a rumour. That's legitimately just a cover. I saw it earlier. It said it literally right at the back. But I am now finished. No, I am finished for now with all of this stuff. We have got a lot more bits in my box of bits. Yeah. And we've sorted out some of these things so I can feel safe. I can, what's it called? Oh no. My bits are organised. My spare parts are organised. Yeah. I am a singer singing a song. You can sing. I'm not a singer singing a song. I'm joking. It's a lie. It's a lie. You know what? I'm going to just go heart. Heart to you all. Hand cam that wasn't ever expected to be a hand cam.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Right, just frozen up now. Oh no, it hurts.
I'm a sandwich. I'm not a sandwich, I'm a cupcake. I'm a cupcake. And I got a Templar server. I did like the little home in. Like a little home. Oh, someone's a Game Boy. Someone's got a Game Boy. You know, one of those cupcakes down there. Who's got a Game Boy? I'm looking for Mongoose as a Game Boy. Looks like a Game Boy anyway to me. Maybe it's a book. Oh, it might be a spell book. Oh, is it a spell book? Can you make a cupcake sandwich? I mean, probably. I mean, a cupcake where you just got off a cupcake. Wait. Hand cam. So if this is a cupcake bottom, this is a cupcake top, this is a fondant on top, you just go cupcake bottom, fondant, cupcake sandwich. Or you could, well, let's call it a sandwich cake at that point. We need to slap 2 cupcakes against Conjuror's head and ask her what kind of cupcake she is. Why would you do that to some poor cupcakes? That would kill 2 innocent cupcakes and hurt my little heady head. My little heady head. You're evil. 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 I'm a silly cupcake. I'm a silly cupcake. What kind of cupcake am I? A silly one. I told you, I'm a chaos cupcake follower. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to kill off a cupcake. Just go off and like attack the Imperium of Man. Yeah, not the Imperium of Cupcakes, not Cuptopia, where all the beautiful cupcakes live, regardless of who they are or what they did in life. Oh, no, don't explode. Don't go boom. Oh, my tummy hurts. My tummy hurts. So at this point, I guess, do we have, is anyone still live at the moment? I know of. A bunch of people live early. I mean, Mai's live. Oh, no, member stream probably. Limbo, I don't know. Okay, looks like people are close to ending stream. So, okay, anyway, that means we'll just end. Oh, live as in stream, just me. Yeah, live as in currently streaming. You're alive! You're alive! No. But thank you for coming to the stream today. I hope you had a good time. If you did, please like the stream. Yeah, helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. But other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day. That you work hard, play harder. Take care of yourselves, be kind to others and vice versa. Eat good food, drink good drink. And sleep well. Dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes. They're friends, not food, you crazy eggs. Goodbye, everybody. Love you all. We are.